Why thinking I just need one good tech is actually holding you back in your auto repair shop. Welcome to today's episode of Talking Shop. I'm Dean from the Workshop Whisperer. This is the original Workshop Whisperer herself, Rachael Evans. Rach, tell us, why is the thinking, when someone says, I just need one more tech, why is that actually holding them back? Tell us.
It holds you back because you think that by having one good tech who can generate great productivity and efficiency, it's going to counterbalance the rest of your team's performance. You need your entire team to fire. And if you've got multiple team members out on the workshop floor who are unable to generate a minimum of 80 to 85% productivity, then you've got serious issues that having one good tech is not going to fix.
Yeah, we could have called this, on fire or get fired. 85%. Some people might be looking and going, I reckon my team's probably there. We're probably pretty close. The reality is, having done this for 12 years, it's usually between like a 50 to 60%, isn't it, to start with? And that's probably for a good shop. We've seen some as low as 30 to 40%. So if someone's going like, oh, well, God, we're nowhere near 85%. Like what would we ever do to get there? What's one or two suggestions you might have, or things that you've seen that have worked for the workshops that we've helped over time to actually begin to get a bump in their productivity levels?
Well, if your technicians are sitting at 50 to 60%, it's only going to be really one of two reasons why. Number one, you don't have the work to supply to them in order for them to charge out any more labour hours. Number two, they're inefficient. So they take far longer than what the job should take, what it was estimated that it should take. So both of those things, though, you are accountable for. So you might be a new shop, or you might have a shop with yourself still on the tools and you've got an apprentice who's quite green, not up to charging out all of the hours that you pay them for each week. And maybe you've got a newly qualified technician. So you may need to spend dollars on marketing that you can measure the result from in order to bring more cars to the shop. Take more opportunities to convert upsell recommendations for the cars that are already coming to get those labour hours sold. But if it's a situation where you've got inefficient techs, they just come to work, do a couple of jobs per day, fill out their hours, but don't sell their hours, you've got to performance manage that. And it's on you to ensure that the team has clear expectations. Now, still, and it kind of blows my mind that it still happens, but we will still have shops come to us who are not doing continuous time clocking. And when you don't have that in place, you don't have a reliable system of holding your techs accountable to selling the hours that is almost equivalent to or equivalent to the hours in the week that you are paying them for. So when you switch on time clocking, and sure, it's a bit bumpy for the first month or so, but provided you continue to hold them accountable and you don't get distracted and they just think, oh, this is another thing that has been brought in that we're not actually going to have to follow. If you stay on it and we get through the bumpy period, you will get a natural 6% lift in overall productivity for the workshop team just because you are tracking, because what's measured improves.
Yeah. The active observation creates that which is observed. If you're actively looking for productivity improvements, that's what your team will deliver. A couple of things you said there. Even the theme about bring in just one more A-grade tech. What do they say? A champion team will always beat a team of champions. So bringing in one unicorn technician that can bill out 120% productivity is less desirable, less valuable than getting an above-the-board improvement across all members of your team. And for someone that might say, oh, but it's just a few minutes here and there, it doesn't really matter. The reality is that an additional 3 minutes of build time per tech per hour, which totals 24 minutes per tech per day, delivers what over a 12-month period?
$10,000 per technician to the bottom line. Every tech, $10,000. That's just from 24 minutes a day per technician, in addition to what you're doing now.
Yeah.
And it's all pure labour profit. You've already paid that technician for their time and any other associated labour costs with the job.
So unless you have some strange kind of sickness towards additional money, then looking for a productivity increase in line with what we've just said on today's episode would be a pretty good way to start. We'll see you on the next episode of Talking Shop.